All right, so I want to make a real quick video right now showing you how to add flippers. Yeah, so we're going to open our table. This one's going to be a blank table, brand new table. Wait, no, that's not the right one. That's this one. So this is a brand new table. We're going to, on the right hand side, on the bottom right, just going to remove all the layers, and we're then going to go and just turn on the layers that has the flippers. There we go. So these are your default flippers right here. Right flipper and left flipper. And you know it's the right flipper when you click on it, and on the upper right hand side here's the name of whatever that flipper is called. If you wanted to add a new flipper, you could just click on insert flipper button on the left hand side over here. Click on that and then click on the table. That will give you a new flipper. It automatically gives it a name. Here it says Flipper 001. For all intents purposes though, I suggest that you copy paste these flippers that are already there. So let's say we wanted to add two flippers. We're going to start with the right one first. We're going to unlock it. So right click, unlock, then Control C to copy it, then lock it again, Control V, and this is our new flipper. Now, when you click on this flipper on the right hand side over here, you'll see that the visible check mark is not there. And the reason it's not there is because we're using flupper flippers, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But if I were to press play right now, you can't even see that flipper I added, right? So if you just put a check mark here and you press play now, you'll see that it's there. It doesn't look the same as the bottom flippers. And the reason for that is that down here, these flippers are flupper flippers. And if I actually if I put 3D models here and then remove the side rails, lockdown bar, apron, check mark here. Oh, and GI lighting. I don't know why. Oh, hold on. That flipper I added, it added to GI lighting. I'm going to right click, assign to layer, side rails, lockdown bar, apron. Okay, gonna assign it to that. So now I can remove GI lighting. So this is where all the flippers are right now. This you see on the right hand side, I'm clicking side rails, lockdown bar, apron, that layer. Okay, but I'm going to remove that layer just for a second to show you that these are what you're seeing on the table, which is, I gave it the name RF logo on this side, and this one is LF logo for left flipper logo, right flipper logo. Those are the 3D models that make up the new flippers, which are what you call flupper flippers, which are just better texture, better looking flippers. But there's nothing wrong with just the default flippers, which are here. Right flipper 001. We're going to call this right flipper 2. So I'm renaming it right flipper 2. All right. And let's go ahead and copy the left flipper over here. Unlock, Control C, lock it again, Control V. So now we got two flippers. So let's say we want these flippers to start working. If you started the table right now and start pressing your flippers, they don't work. Oh, I forgot to make it visible. See it? That's a step you can't forget. Putting it visible. There you go. So now we got both flippers. Both flippers don't work. Now these flippers, if you want to change what they look like, it's just where it says image. That's the only thing you need to change. See flippers yellow, red, right. That's one of the colors. The other one is Gottlieb flipper red. You can try that if you prefer that one. It doesn't really work well. I said just leave it as is. Flipper or Williams logo left, which will be the same as the other side. See, so now you got two of those. That's fine. So now let's make these flippers work. So we know that these are named right flipper 2 and left flipper. Oh, we got to call this one left flipper 2. All right. So we have to edit the script at this point, and we're going to look for where it says right flipper in the script. So you're going to hit the script. You're going to go where it says edit at the top. Click the button that says find. When you click that, it'll bring a search bar. You put in right flippers. I copy paste the name of the object I'm looking for. It's right flipper. Here is the code for if you're going to be using flupper flippers. But we're going to keep going, hitting find next, find next, find next. Keep going till you find this section over here. See, now we're in the lines where it says, well, line 314 all the way to 333 is pretty much that section that we're going to be looking at. So the first line we got to do here, where it says left flipper rotate to end, we're going to highlight all of that line, press Control C, then click at the end of it, press Enter to create a new line, then Control V. So now we got two left flippers rotating to end, but we're just going to add the 2 right there. So now it says left flipper 2 rotate to end. Now we just got one more place to edit, which is left flipper rotate to start right here. So we're going to highlight the whole line, even the space. So Control C, Enter, so we could make a space underneath it. Control V. Now we got left flipper, and we're going to add the number 2. So now it's left flipper 2. So now we got a functioning left flipper, but we got to do the same thing for the right flipper because we added both. So right flipper rotate to end. Control C. Click somewhere after it. So you can press Enter. And then Control V. Then go right where it says right flipper. Put a little click right there so you can add a 2. So right flipper 2. Rotate to end. So now it's going to rotate to the end of the angle that it's set. Now we just got to do the right flipper rotate to start. Same thing. Highlight that line. Control C. Click at the end. Press Enter. Control V. Edit the name of it so it says right flipper 2. And there you go. We're done. Now we can go to actually hit the X on the upper right corner. Close the script. File, save. Just make sure it keeps your saves. And now we got functioning flippers. All right. So now these flippers are now functioning. And you can add them anywhere you want and as many as you want. Now let's say you don't want these flippers at this angle. So now you have to go to where it says start angle. So we're editing the right flipper 2. Start angle where it says minus 120.5. That is its default value. So if you go minus 100, it's going to be a little bit higher up like that. Let's go minus 150, let's say. There. So we got this, but now it's going to swing all the way to where it was before. So it's going to move a lot. When you flip it, see that big distance? That's really a big distance. So what you want to do is change what is the end angle. So where do you want the flipper to end when you flipped it? So from here we're going to add probably another 30, so minus 100. There you go. Now that shrank the distance. So now that's pretty much a proper upper flipper if I ever saw one. Okay, let's just see if we can get it to land on that flipper. Boom. Well, anyways, so those are working. But now let's say you want them to be flubber flippers just like the wrist. Well, what you have to do, and this, actually, wait, hold on a second. I think, okay, no, I didn't. We're good. What you have to do at that point is copy the 3D model. So where it says 3D models here, the check mark on the right hand side in the layers, make sure that's on. There we go. Zoom in and you'll see there's the one that says, oh, if I scroll all the way up here, one that says left flipper, that's not the one you want. You want the one that says LF logo. There you go. All right, so unlock that. Oh, make sure it's the right one. There you go. Right click, unlock, Control C, lock it again. Control V. So now we got a second 3D model. You see it's hollowed out compared to the other one. And you're just gonna go ahead and place it where the other one is. And make sure it's lined up as good as possible. And there you go. Now you have a flipper here, but now we have to turn the flipper underneath invisible. You want it to be invisible, not because you don't want to see the bad flipper, you want to see the flipper one. So this flipper, make sure that there's no check mark where it says static rendering. If that is checked, then it won't be able to move. So make sure that's unchecked. All right, so now we're gonna call this LF logo 2, like that. So now we got LF logo 2 for that one. So we're gonna do the same thing for the other flipper. This one, unlock. Control C, lock it again. Control V. There's our other flipper. We're gonna bring it up to here. But now you see it's not in the right angle, but it's because we changed the angle of this one. So the start angle is at -150. So when you click on the 3D model, on the right hand side where the tab says position, you want to click on the tab that says position and change this where it says -120. We want it -150, so it's the same as the other one. So now it starts at the exact same angle. Just make sure it's placed perfectly, so it's perfectly aligned. Make sure that the right flipper 2 is set to invisible, so remove the visible. And now we got to do some script changes. So at the top of the script, we're at the very top, we're gonna go scroll all the way up. Let me shrink this. I don't know why it's so big. This script don't need to be that big. There we go. Let's go all the way to the top and start scrolling down until you see where it says real-time updates using game timer. All right, so here you'll see that there are lines. Flipper, what's this? Flipper LS. Oh, that's for the shadows. Those are flipper shadows. You have to add those as well later on, but let's not concentrate on flipper shadows for now. Left flipper logo equals the left flipper current angle. This is what makes your left flipper follow your left flipper. So we're gonna have to copy this. Control C. Press enter at the end of the line. Control V. Oh, I didn't copy the space. That's fine. I can just go over there and press space a few times. There we go. And now we know that it's going to be called left flipper, well, LF logo 2, and it's going to match our left flipper 2 current angle. So there you go. So now that one's going to be working. Let's do the other one. So which is RF logo right here. Let's make sure we copy the space this time. Oh, the full space. Control C. Click at the end of the line. Press enter. Control V. Then we're just going to rename RF logo 2 and right flipper 2. And that's it. You want to save, file, save. Let's look at these now. Oh, RF logo 2 is undefined. What did I do here? RF logo 2. Oh, it's not named. It's not named the same. What did I call this one? Hold on. Right flipper logo 001. I forgot to rename it. Put it to RF logo 2. There. What about this one? LF logo 2. Okay, so that one's good. Let's try again. File, save, and let's see if we. Now we got. There we go. We got flippers. And now these look like real flippers, and these can be edited with an image. I can show you later on how to do that, but let's say you don't want these flippers. You don't want that look of those flippers. That's fine. you can go ahead and select all of those 3D models, make them invisible like that by removing the check mark on the right hand side, and then make your default flippers underneath them visible. Same thing with down here if you wanted to. So we're going to make the default flippers visible, but we're going to make the 3D models invisible. So now this is what it looks like. Same thing, exact same thing. So that's how you add flippers. You can add as many as you want. So doing that, you'll be all set. All right, good luck.